All right, welcome back to the channel. I am here today with Strandberg, who is teaching me how to cook on Chaos Dragons, a deck that honestly started in 2012 in Yu-Gi-Oh! And a lot of people like that deck with like Pulsar Dragon and Dark Flare Dragon and all that stuff. But now we have this in Edison because this man has cooked this deck up. And Loa, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit? I know you have your own YouTube channel, so feel free to shout that out and everything as well.
Hey everyone, I'm Strandberg. I'm a European Yu-Gi-Oh player. I've been playing Edison for the past few years now, and I won the Ultimate Time Wizard at the European Championship last year. So ever since then, I also have made YouTube videos on Edison format and modern and other formats as well. So make sure to check me out if you like what you see here. It's Frozen Card Gaming on YouTube and all platforms.
Frozen Card Gaming, exactly. So it's interesting. I am in a Facebook group that is like a retro Facebook group or whatever, and I see your videos pop up all the time on my Facebook timeline. So I've known about you for like a year now, I feel like, and I watch pretty much all of your videos. I've been watching them a lot, so I'm a fan of yours actually.
That's dope. Thank you.
Yeah, one of the videos that got me really into watching your channel, I know you love Cyber Valley, but I remember you started talking about frogs, and I think it was around the time that Dream Frogs was out, and you were talking about playing like triple salvage in frogs, and I thought that was a really good idea for the Dream Frog like deck, and it had been doing well over in the States because Bronte won our nationals in, what was it, Austin, Texas last year with Dream Frogs, and he was playing double salvage, double pot avarice. And once that deck happened, then the next event was YCS Sacramento. Denny Yu had one with Dream Frogs as well. I don't think he used salvage, I think he just used triple pot avarice. I'm not 100% sure, but your video was around that time, and I just remember thinking salvage is, to me, a really good card in frogs, and you were one of the first people to kind of like realize that it kind of breaks the deck, honestly. Like, it is one of the best cards. And then I just started watching like a lot more of your content and stuff like that. So yeah, I've liked your stuff a lot.
I think even in the non-Dream Frog or like Fishborg Frog-esque decks, salvage is really good because with the interactions where you have like swap and a water, if it's under 15, you just add back the sub and the water back, and you do full sub combo turn one. Like, it just allows your deck to play more aggressively, similar to Miracle allowed the Hero Frog deck to play more aggressively, as opposed to just summon Monarch into a trap and then you pass turn, right?
Yep. Yeah. So I was already watching at that time, and then I saw you do like Amaryllis videos. You've done a bunch of different deck videos, and I just genuinely like the way your videos are made. So, and you have, I don't know if these are your cards, but like all of your shit was max rarity. I remember your stuff.
It's all mine.
Yeah, you have a lot of like nice cards. That's what, guys, check out his channel for sure if you like staring at really pretty cards. He has a lot of ultis, a lot of high rarity, max rarity stuff. That was one of the things that also made me, like your channel. So definitely subscribe to Loa here. But
yeah, I make sure to feature nice cards. People want to look at high rarity cardboard.
Yeah, I'm a fan of ultimate rares. That is my favorite rarity. So anytime I see a bunch of ultis, I get excited. But let's talk about this deck here. So Chaos Dragons, what made you drawn to this deck? Like, why do you like Chaos Dragons in Edison format?
So after I won Euros, I wanted to explore various different decks in Edison because I just wanted to play like every single deck. Up until that point, I had only played the big ones like Frog, Blackwing, Vayu, and whatnot. I haven't really put any time into discovering new decks until after I won Euros and I decided to make a YouTube channel or like continue on with making Edison because I already done like profiles when I topped events in Modern and whatnot. But I really wanted to build up a channel for Edison because I really liked the format and I really wanted more people to try it out. So I just wanted to figure out new ideas and new ways to play the game, essentially, which Cyber Valley is, and the various different decks that I've done, be it Ancient Gear Fairies, this Chaos Dragon deck, my Hero Dragon deck, as we talked about my version of Frog Monarch where I played Salvage without like the Dream aspect, and all the different decks that I've kind of worked on or even pioneered, like this, what no one was really playing Cyber Valley until I started discovering it, right? And that's basically how I got started into making this dragon deck. I had the idea of playing Raiko, Lila recharges in a dragon deck, which was the original Chaos Dragon idea I had. That was before Valley. I just had the Lightsworn package, very much like the 2012 Chaos Dragon deck, as you mentioned.
Right.
Because I really just wanted to mill a bunch of cards to the grave. I had 3 copies of Phantom of Chaos in that deck, and the idea was just like kind of similar to the Norleras deck, but without Norleras, because I think if you just do like Phantom, copy Crater, bring back Red MD, bring back Blue Eyes, so you kill them already, right? So you don't really need to go for the entire hand loop strategy.
Yeah.
And that kind of spawned the idea of like, oh, okay, Phantom of Chaos is really good. Okay, how can I abuse Phantom of Chaos? without playing Light Swarms because that's such a big package, what are the starter cards can I play? Okay, Cyber Valley is sort of like a card D for Edison. You can summon it and pair it with any of the take cards. You can use it with DDR. You can use it just to buy turns with Gold Star. So I discovered so many good uses out of Cyber Valley that I eventually came to this deck, and it actually ended up being a pretty good deck. Like, this deck is actually pretty capable of winning games, but it started out as something I just wanted to do for fun. But Cyber Valley actually ended up being a pretty good card into at least the last year's meta. I'm not sure how good it is anymore with Frogs just bouncing with Bryonak and killing you, and Gigavice doing the same.
Yeah.
It's a really good card into like Vayu, Blackwing, GBs, and whatnot.
Yeah, I agree. I noticed something too about this deck. I'm looking at your monsters. So one, the monster count is already pretty low. It's only 19. But also, your deck Devi monsters are low too. The monsters in your deck that can be hit by deck Devi, I think I counted 7. So 3 Cyber Valleys. Well, I mean the ones that can actually be destroyed by deck Devi.
That's what you meant.
Yeah. So 3 Cyber Valleys, 2 Phantom of Chaos, 1 Tragodia, 1 Whitestone. And technically Whitestone is not really, that bad because you probably will be searching Blue Eyes at that point. But yeah, you don't have a lot of cards that get hit by deck Devi, which is nice. Instead of, a lot of decks for a while anyway were being destroyed by deck Devi, and now that I think everyone knows that card is being main decked in Value Turbo, and it's been like this for well over a year, now decks have to be built in a way where they know to play around the deck Devi main deck stuff. So this is good. I like that this list doesn't just get blown out by that card.
Yeah, I agree. The main thing is maybe Royal Oppression that you're pretty weak to, but unless Blackwing starts to main that card, I think Vayu will just continue maining DDV because it's kind of the same card, right? It hits the non-real decks like Gigavice and Frogs, particularly Frogs, pretty well, which is probably why you would main deck Oppression anyway. DDV is just slightly better into Blackwing and Vayu. So I don't think you need to main deck to beat Oppression. As you can see in this deck, I only have 1 Heavy and 1 Regeki Break.
Yep.
If they flip Oppression, I might just lose the game, but the amount of games that you actually end up losing to Oppression because Edison is so slow is not actually that high.
Yeah, especially game 1. Like, game 1, I don't really expect to see too many Oppressions game 1 because it's not that good against the 2 most popular decks, which is Blackwings and Vayu. And so, yeah, I think that most people are just maining the deck Devis, and your deck will probably not get hit too hard by it at all. So that's one of the things that can just win you a game by itself, because they lose 2 cards when they use that, and then you might not have anything go away, which just card advantage at that point. Your deck probably kills pretty fast, I imagine. Like some of these hands, I know if any deck that plays Future Fusion with Red Eyes Wyvern and Red Eyes, those decks are always scary as hell. Yeah, if you ever resolve Future Fusion in these kind of decks, is the advantage you gain from just activating that card, especially if it's, God forbid, turn 1 before they even take a turn. It's usually a GG. Like, you win those games 90% of the time. They have to have a super specific hand to beat you. So
also in this deck, I have some other ways to utilize Future Fusion. Like, I have DDR, which allows me to play without normal summoning, which allows me to use Wyvern in the end phase with Red MD.
That's true.
And my Future Fusion is also better than my opponent's Disaster Dragon deck version of the deck, because I play Whitestone and Blue Eyes. So I now have a 3000 attack body or a tuner to make synchro plays with that I can bring back with Red MD.
Yeah, this card's
actually just a bomb.
This deck is actually very carefully constructed. I'm staring at it more and more, and I'm noticing like a lot of the things about it. I like that you're also playing triple Upstart. Do you like Upstart in Edison format in general? Like, do you usually play that card?
So when I started playing Legacy formats a few years back, even in like 2016, we started playing Edison format at locals. It was mostly like Hat or Vegas that we started with a couple of years later, during like pre-COVID or around that era. At that time, I was a heavy fan of playing free upstarts and everything, just like the upstart theory, right? Like,
yeah,
the more consistent your deck is, the better it is. But eventually I came to realize that, and I actually have a video on this, so if you guys would like to know even more about upstarts and the various draw cards in Edison format, you can check that out. But particularly with upstart and Edison format, I think if you're playing a deck where you have a bunch of normal summons and very few bombs, so something like Vayu Turbo, for example, yeah, you have some bombs, but your deck is mostly comprised of normal summons, as opposed to something like 2014 Mermails, where you have a bunch of special summons, you have a bunch of extenders that can extend your plays, and you're not solely relying on normal summoning to get your plays going, which a lot of these older format decks are, where you play maybe 50 normal summons as opposed to 6. So what is Upstart really drawing you into? Let's take another example, the Zombie deck, for example. The Zombie deck only has 2 copies of Goblin Goblin Zombie, 2 copies of either Tomato or Turtle, and then usually one of the other ones. You have 5 starters. But you can't play Upstart in that deck because your deck is only normal summons.
Yeah.
So even if you Upstart turn 1, the combo pieces you are seeing are just going to be normal summons. So it makes more sense to just play trap cards to get to that other turn, because Bottomless is sort of like Upstart in the sense that you can get another turn and you stop your opponent, because the cards you're drawing into with Upstarts, there's just so much redundancy because you play so many cards that have to do the same thing. You play so many normal summons that go towards the same goal. But in this deck, you can see that I don't have that many normal summons. Like I have Valley, which is basically a starter card. I want to use the turn 1 to dig myself deeper into my deck and stop my opponent from dealing damage. I have Phantom of Chaos, which is sort of like a Caius. You want to summon it on later turns to utilize your cards from the graveyard and maybe get them back with DDR. You can almost summon Whitestone, but you can also pitch it. You can almost summon Infernal Dragon, but you can also pitch it or summon it with MD. You can almost summon Wyvern or Drago, but there's not that many normal summons in this deck. You can play Upstart and pretty readily see fresh cards that you can actually use on the first turn, which is not something you can say about Vayu Turbo, for example, where it's like, oh, you draw a Raikou and you Upstart into Hamster. Well, I mean, you set one of them, but the next turn you would rather have the Upstart be a trap that could actually stop your opponent rather than being the Upstart.
I like this theory about decks that special summon a lot versus decks that normal summon a lot, and how you feel Upstart factors into both of the different ideas. That's pretty cool. I've never heard anyone talk about Upstart in that particular sense. So, you know, this is already off to a good start. I feel like learning something, a different mindset about that card, because I feel like most people, when they think about Upstart, they just think, make my deck 37 cards so it'll draw better, which is, you know, true, right? Like you'll just draw the cards that you want to draw more often, even though it's a small percentage a lot of the time. When it comes to a 1-of, I think it goes from 15% to 16%, but when it comes to 3-ofs, the percentages get a bit higher, and even 1%, I think, in a long tournament across many games, it can matter a lot. Seeing your Heavy Storm, seeing your Future Fusion more often, things like that, Dark Arm Dragon, these blowout cards that are in your deck, Return, Trap Death Shoot, turn 1, stuff like that. I mean, just seeing those cards more often than people who are not playing Upstart, it does matter. So yeah, I like it. And let's look at the side deck here. So I see Sirocco's, I see Cyber Dragons. Those are two kind of, especially nowadays, like Cyber Dragon's kind of a staple because of all the Machina decks and machine decks in general. But then Sirocco, that card goes in and out, I feel like, of rotation in people's side decks. So do you think
because it's a normal summon, I think?
Yeah, exactly. Like it's a committal side deck card, but I guess you like it against the Blackwing. Do you side it against Vayu as well?
Yeah, exactly. Like I sided them against both Blackwing and Vayu. Because like what I said about it's a normal summon is that this deck doesn't have that many normal summons. So you can afford to side deck Sirocco, while other decks might not be able to afford it because they have to use the normal summon to play. But in this deck, you can readily go normal summon Sirocco, pump, swing over their guy, and then you don't need to worry about their Icarus attack, for example. So then you can play your other cards.
Yeah.
You can also use Sirocco with Eradicator that I have against Blackwing. This card has gone a little bit worse. It was really good back last year when people ran 4 to 6 draw traps. Like you just call traps and you hit their draw traps and the regular traps.
Yeah.
I think the Blackwing trap count was around 17 to 19, at least in game 1. So you could hit a lot of their traps with Eradicator, and you obviously have Red MD, you have Phantom, you have Dad, you have Gorse, sometimes Trag, and if you pump Sirocco, you have Sirocco, and various of your synchros as well. There are above 2500 for the Eradicator, but it's pretty easy to activate in this deck.
Yeah, that makes sense. Have you ever thought about Prime Material Dragon?
Yeah, but I don't think that card really does anything. It's a good card if you dump it with Future Fusion, and then you can bring it back. You can play around their cards that destroy, but it's sort of like Infernal Dragon. It's like Whitestone. It's one of these cards that you play for Future Fusion. You're not playing Prime Material to draw Prime Material, you're playing it as a pick card for Future. And I think Future Fusion has enough options in this deck with the Infernal and Whitestone. It's certainly something you could play, but I think that it's just TT and Mirror Force really, and there are ways to play around those cards or just make reads on them.
Yeah.
I don't think this deck is...
I only say that because of GBs are very popular now, and Prime Material randomly is just like really, really good against that deck specifically. At least in the States, I'm not sure what the meta's like in Europe, but we have a lot more GB players because the combo decks are more popular here. And so people are playing GBs more because they have a favorable matchup against decks like that. And so nowadays in a tournament, you could play, you can play against 3 GBs in an 8-round tournament, and Prime Material just shuts them down. It's a bad draw. Usually it's a bad draw. I shouldn't say always, because your deck has DDR and stuff where you could discard it from your hand and then like summon red med and then bring back Prime Material. And if you ever do that combo, I feel like they just fucking lose. But I just like that this guy he's really good against that particular matchup, and maybe some other random ones, but mainly against GBs. Like I remember Adam Korn back in the day, long time ago, he made like a Monarch deck that was playing Prime Material Dragon, and when he summoned this on them, they just could not play. But it's not like mandatory or anything like that. It's just an idea.
I like it in Dragon Turbo because it's level 6, so you can use this and Debris to make Trident Dragon.
Yeah, that's
and also that deck is all in. Like in this deck, you actually have some counterplay to TT and Mirror Force because you have more longevity than Dragon Turbo does. So I didn't think the Prime Material being able to negate those cards was prevalent. I suppose what you say about GB is true. It is a really good card against them. It's just very tough to deal with a card they can't Geyseris away, right?
Yeah, they can't Geyseris it away. They can't if they also have their Mirror Force Torrential. And even if you attack in a Wabaku, which they all play Wabaku now, that usually they just tag out to Marmelo. Like they just cannot do that. It's kind of funny. But just something that people watching this video, if you want to consider one Prime Material in the side deck, I'm not sure what you would cut, but if you guys can figure that out, just play testing around. But I always think about, when I see Dragon decks, I always think about Prime Material because I hate GBs as a person. Like I just do not like that deck. And I'm always thinking of ways to either side deck for it or not main deck for it, but I always think about ways to side deck against it just because it is a deck that I feel like if I play in a tournament, I'm going to face at least one. And recently at the Ultimate Time Wizard, I played against 3 of them. So I was like, oh my God, wow, there's so many. That it is a lot. It's so many of them. And I don't think they're going anywhere. I don't think that the deck is going anywhere. I think it's going to continue to gain popularity. It's the best it's ever been. Like 2025, I think GBs are the best they ever have been. And, at first the deck was considered a meme because we had a lot more Hero Beat in the format, and now no one plays Hero Beat. I think that deck is like completely gone from the meta. So GBs are just thriving now, and Prime Material is just a card that shuts them out. But besides that, I mean, I think this looks really well rounded. For your Ultimate Time Wizard, did you play Blackwings?
I did, yeah.
Okay, I think I remember seeing your deck profile now, because I was like, I feel like I remember watching that profile and you were playing Blackwings. Why don't we talk about that for a little bit, because I'm just interested in hearing your experience. So if you remember exactly how that all went down, you played a Blackwing deck. Was there anything like spicy or specific about your list?
Yeah, I mean, why don't I just pull it up, right?
Yeah,
so we can talk about it.
Yes,
I have it saved right here. So this was the list that I played for the European Championship. Going into the tournament, this was my first Edison tournament that I attended, so I wasn't really sure what the meta was going to be. Up until this point, I played a lot on ladder, obviously for the NA, I guess, experience of the game, I suppose, because most people who play online are Americans. So I figured the European meta might be a little bit different, so I didn't want to play exactly what everyone else in the US played or what was played on DB, because I expected a lot more Blackwing, because that's a very popular deck in Europe.
Yeah, it is.
I also, I just wanted a deck that I could play well with and that I wanted to be very consistent, which is why I played the 4 draw traps. But the format back then was so different. Like it was so funny. I like go first and I set a back row and a draw trap, and my opponent just plays as if I have 2 back row. This was right after Hector won with the 6 draw traps.
Yep.
So people were aware of it being played, but I guess it hadn't really caught on in most people's head, because, or at least like people just didn't know about my deck list, because then for YCS Lille and Bologna, the 2 following European YCSs, I played almost the exact same list. And people just disrespected my back row. Like I could set real back rows. I could set like a Prison and Bottomless and people still played into them. I could set like a Legacy and Icarus, and then Machina just goes for game. And well, I mean, I played for follow-up with Icarus and Legacy, so I just died. So I'm not sure if that's like a player thing, because a lot of people that I play against in Europe do recognize me because of YouTube and whatnot. So they probably know what my deck list is, and also my Neuron name, which we use in Europe for pairings. It's my full name, so people, if they just Google that, or they ask their friends, like, do you know who this is? You can see my deck list on YouTube, so maybe that played a factor in it.
It does. But I can tell you right now, it absolutely does. Like, if people see me at a YCS, they know I'm playing Frogs, right? And they probably know my deck list too, or at least very close to it, because I usually do just play the same around the same deck list. Like my deck list doesn't really change that. It's Edison format. It's only so much I want to do to it. Now I know nowadays we have like hero frogs with no dupe frogs and shit like that, but I wasn't doing that. And so yeah, what you're saying is valid. As a content creator, that is one of the things about being a content creator is that people will know your list more often. So we have to kind of either play really, really well or just hope that our deck is strong enough to still just, you know, beat through people knowing the cards that you play. Or you could just change it up a little bit. Like if you don't play torrential in your main deck, you know, you could main deck it now because people are like, oh, he doesn't main deck torrential or he doesn't main deck gores, and then you put those cards in your deck and that catches people off guard. I know Ludo was famous for doing that exact thing. Like he wouldn't play gores and torrential and then he would just play them, so people would see his last list and say, oh, he doesn't play these cards, and then they would summon all their monsters and attack for game, and he's like, drop gores, and now they lose.
I did that actually for YCS Lil, the event right after Euros. I did have gores in my main deck. I think I cut space from the main deck for it because I expected that people, if they do know about me, then they would not play around gores because it's not in my list. So gores I actually wanted in my list, but I would not do something like cut TT or whatever because I think TT is very good in this deck. But overall, I think this deck, at least for that event, was really good, and it worked out well, I guess.
So do you like Blackwings is this like your favorite deck in the format, or is this just like the deck that you feel if you wanted to win a tournament, this is the one that you play?
I'm not an Edison player. I just like Yu-Gi-Oh. So whenever people ask me that question, like, oh, do you like Blackwing, do you like frogs? No, I just like Edison because of how the game plays. You know what I mean? Like the way the Edison format duels play out is so different to modern because you're playing these trap cards like Bottomless, Prison, and whatnot. So I could play with Blackwings, or I could play with a modern deck like Zodiacs, for example, if they have this sort of play pattern where you set a back row, maybe you summon a monster, but you don't really have to. They have to respect your back row, because if you just TT into their full commitment, they just lose 2 or 3 cards, and it's super hard to come back from that because the cards don't print cards themselves like they do in modern. You have to be very wary of your resources and not overextend fully into an unknown back row. And I like that play pattern, and that's why I like Edison, not really for the decks in Edison format. So Blackwing is just a deck I like because it's a simple deck at a base level. It's summon guy and attack. But there's so many more things you have to think about, and also because it is so basic, it is also consistent because you have almost all 3-offs. So you will always know what you should do with your deck because it should always play very similarly. So you just need to play properly. It's kind of like chess. In chess, every single piece is face up. You play with perfect information. But chess is still a very skillful game, despite you both starting with the same pieces and everything being available to both players, because you have infinite options. And it's very similar with the Blackwing deck. You have very many options. Like, do I summon this monster this turn, or do I do it 5 turns from now? If you're playing a Blackwing mirror, a lot of the time you just draw a pass because you don't want to commit into a Sirocco that can then pump and then do some extra damage. A lot of the time with the Blackwing mirror, you just have many turns where you just go back and forth because no one really wants to commit. Because if you start committing into what they have, then depending on how the board state looks, you might be putting yourself in a worse position than if you actually did nothing, which is something that's not true in modern at all. Like in modern Yu-Gi-Oh, if you don't use your once per turn effects, you're probably going to be behind because those once per turn effects print new cards. But you summoning Boar attacking for 17 and then getting this ran over by their Sirocco or their Shura, you're doing 17 damage, but they're getting a +1. The Bora doesn't itself give you advantage, so the way you play the game is so different than Edison. And that's why I like old formats like Edison a lot.
I agree. I like that about your explanation, is that Edison is very different from modern. The cards don't print cards. They all have, like, if you use it and you don't have follow-up, you can put yourself in a really bad position. And also if you commit too early and you just lose your card to your opponent's full resources when they have 6 cards, right? Like, for example, setting up a dupe block on turn 1 is not that strong in Edison format now, because 1, decks are built with the dupe block in mind, but 2, they have all of their cards at that time, right? So like what you said about summoning a monster in the Blackwing mirror and losing it to a Sirocco very easily is something that the good players know not to do. So they'll spend turns just passing, like just literally doing nothing. Setting draw traps is really good in the mirror. That way, if your opponent decides they want to set up Icarus attack and stuff like that, you have a lot of decisions to make, even though the deck is just summon and attack at the end of the day. But those decisions where you're choosing not to use cards and choosing when to be aggressive, when to hold back, stuff like that. It makes the deck a lot more complicated on a high level. But yeah, I mean, Black Wings is a fantastic deck. I have been saying for a very long time this is the best deck in the format, and I think what I love about it the most is that no matter what happens in Edison format, right, like no matter what changes we go through, this deck is always going to be a top 5 deck no matter what. Like it will always be good. There will never be a time where Black Wings is not a good choice to play, even when it was hero beat galore and people were saying hero beat beats this deck, which I never really believed. But whether it's true or not is not important, because I think that just if you're playing in an 8 or 9 round tournament and the goal is to go X1 to guarantee top, or almost guarantee top, sometimes you don't, but if the goal is to go X1 minimum, then I think Black Wings is always going to be a solid choice. The deck is just very, very strong. It's honestly overpowered. A lot of the cards like Blizzard, Dark Arm, Whirlwind, you know, Icarus, like a lot of the cards are just ridiculous and in context of Edison. So yeah, I mean, good explanation. I like that you just, like you said, you just like the format. And this deck, obviously, you felt like this was the deck, you know, if I'm going to play Edison and I'm trying to win this tournament, like I'll pick this one because I get to interact with my opponent. My deck is very consistent. I play all 3 ofs. You're not playing a bunch of like 1 of cards that if you don't see them, your deck falls apart. That's the thing as well. Some people like decks that just, if they don't see Rescue Cat, it's like, oh, your deck is kind of terrible or whatever.
Yeah. I think Blackwing deck is just, that's a very low floor. Like when you're doing the bare bones things, you're just doing a lot still, but your ceiling is also not that high, which is also one of its downfalls when you compare it to all of these other decks. Like Vayu Turbo can just do a whole lot more in 1 turn.
Yeah.
And the same with the various frog decks. But the Blackwing deck, you're not gonna like draw a bunch of cards that you cannot play. Either you're gonna have traps that can stop your opponent, or you're gonna have monsters, and those monsters can usually attack over what your opponent has because you play free Kalut, and you have this combo too, which also is a 3700 attacker, and you have Whirlwind with all of these various pairs. So you have so many ways to get into the game, as opposed to these other decks, which they have some hands which are just atrocious, but the Blackwing bad hands are usually not that bad.
Yeah, true. Okay, so I think we did enough yapping about just random
let's get
stuff
into a
now.
game.
Yeah, let's go play. Let's go duel with Chaos Dragons.
Yeah, of course. That's what we're here to do. Teach you how to cook.
Teaching you how to cook some dragons. So yeah, I like talking to the different Blackwing players. There's so many different people who play Blackwings, and so many nowadays. There's so many people who are really good with that deck too. So I just wanted to know your insights on it, because you won a major event with it, and I know people would be happy to hear that kind of stuff from you.
I also think my view on the game is very different because I come from Modern. So the way I got into Edison format is from Modern, which just changes how I view the game.
Mm-hmm.
So even if I'm wrong or if I'm right, it doesn't really matter. I think my views on the game is very different, so we're not stuck in this echo chamber where everyone just plays the same decks and thinks the same.
Do you still play Modern Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I didn't really play the main event for 2024 because I wasn't a big fan of Snake Eye, and we're just getting comboed on, so I guess we can keep talking here.
Yeah. We don't. This is the problem when you play against shit like this, and you have no agency. Like in this matchup, if he opens up Lonefire Supervise, which it doesn't look like he's going to, but if
he's just passing here.
Yeah, he just passed because he played Hidden Armory, but he probably has it set up for next turn, so we just have to like. Hopefully
so he added Supervise and Mark, I think, right? Yeah, Supervise and Mark.
Supervise and Mark. So now
set a back row.
If he ever has Lonefire, we are in trouble. Okay, so we have some stuff. We have 1-for-1, which gets Cyber Valley and Whitestone are both options. I think this deck weirdly struggles with Catastor. And well, I should say it can, but then they can just Nettles into Stardust.
You can also just make Stardust or any like way to clear it with Bryo and whatnot.
Yeah, usually when they're weak to Catastors, when they go Titanial, and then you Catastor them. But if he hasn't done anything yet, he could just make Stardust, which is like really annoying.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pass here.
Yeah,
I'm passing because I have Gorse, and also if I commit, let's say I do the Catastor play. I'm only punching for 22, and then he can mark it and DDR back to Giga.
Yeah, you're in the bad spot.
And I think like he doesn't have any plays, so I don't need to start playing.
They play Wing Blast too. That's like their main defense, I feel like. He's
Yeah, and also the
thinking about
YCS topping list play the TT, Mirror Force, and Dust Shoot too.
Yep.
But they don't run a whole lot of defense.
Okay, he's setting more background. So his hand is definitely not good. Like, he doesn't have a play.
Yeah.
But I think the only bad part is that we also don't have a really good play.
I'm starting to think now maybe it's okay to do the 1-for-1 stone thing, because I don't really want to draw white stone or blue eyes here, and I also get to punch in some damage.
Okay.
And if he does the mark play, then I can just bottomless, so I think I'm gonna do that.
Alright.
I also have Mirror Force if things go south. Let's see what I want to pitch. Yeah, I'm just gonna pitch this.
Yeah,
That's
Gore's is notoriously bad in this fucking matchup.
Summon this. Like, I guess if he has like TT or Mirror Force here, it's pretty fine.
Yeah.
I'm debating between Capacitor or Android. Because I have the traps to stop a Titanial, and Android might be nice to give me more life. I'm gonna use my White Stone. I assume that's okay.
Yeah, nothing game 1 should be stopping White Stone. Alright. Do you want to commit any more cards?
I'm just thinking like what he might even have.
Yeah, we know Mark
I think
is
I'm okay to
supervised.
pass here.
I think he has...
I also don't want to commit too heavy because like I want to be able to use my Heavy Storm.
Yeah.
And then set a back row behind it. But I think with the bottomless, like if he has Wing Blast to put this on the top and he has the perfect hand to go for game, that's...
Alright, so he is trying
He has
to...
that, he has that.
He's trying to get... Yeah. So he has...
Yeah.
He just drew that, which is good. We know his draw now.
Like surely he has DDR.
That's what I would
search
think.
Mark and whatnot with that one.
Yeah, I would assume he has DDR as well. And maybe he was hoping that we summoned the monster earlier, so that way the Gigaplant that was in the graveyard, he banished with Mark of the Rose and DDR'd it back. But we didn't summon anything, so he couldn't do that. Okay, so that's a lot of back row.
I mean, like, he hasn't used anything yet. Like, what can it really be? It's probably just a bunch of bluffs. Like, it makes me really tempted to go for a heavy if I can push, but like right now my hand obviously cannot
Yeah,
push,
your
so I'm
hand
just
is
gonna
not
hold
good
it.
for that, and I think that he's just going to chain Wing Blast to Heavy Storm. I would just...
If he even has it.
I think
I'm just gonna keep punching
Yeah, I think
here.
exactly. I think it's smart to just attack. I think he has Wing Blast, and there's no reason to really use it right now because he doesn't have his combo yet. It's like if he Wing Blast, what's the point, right? Like like they can take the damage. They don't care about the damage because they're just trying to buy turns to kill us or put themselves in a situation where we can't come back.
I'm a little tempted to set like something, not necessarily the Mirror Force to stop his attack, but just like if he has a Wing Blast, he has to at least make the decision of taking my newer, older back row. And I don't think I'm going to use Mind Control here because I already have used my White Stone and I had to draw a tuner to be able to utilize it.
Okay.
It's also a card that I can use if I do play the heavy. So I'm just going to set this. In case he has Wing Blast, he has to
Make a choice.
make a decision
Yeah.
if he wants to push.
Okay. I'm very surprised that he hasn't made a single play though, besides Gold Sark and Hidden Armories. Like this is crazy. I don't know if he's holding back and waiting for like the perfect conditions. Some people don't like to commit anything until they have like, I want heavy, I want lone fire, I want supervise, but like I don't think that
He also can't do this forever.
yeah. Okay.
Okay,
There
here
we
we're going
go.
somewhere.
Yeah, I was about to
That's
say
fine.
like I don't think that you can continue to just do nothing.
No. Yeah, I'm just gonna balance that.
Yeah.
If that's okay.
Hopefully it's okay.
Some main Solemn, so maybe he has a Solemn. Okay, no.
Oh yeah, they do play Solemn. Yeah, that card's broken in this deck. All right, so now we're
Okay, so he does not have DDR.
No.
Which is like, it's kind of weird because it didn't search it turn 1, but it was also weird because it didn't use it with Lone Fire. But yeah, he just doesn't have that card in hand.
Yeah, he does not. So now I think we could heavy and
yeah, I kind of want to heavy, but I also think he maybe has Gorse in hand and he drew into it after the fact.
That's annoying if he has specifically, because having 3 back row and Gorse is fucking wild.
No, I meant like
I know he had to draw it. Yeah, he drew
yeah.
it after, but I think that's still unlucky for us because he has 23 cards in his deck. I would just play the odds that he didn't do that, like that didn't happen, because the odds are that did not happen. But we have him really... where if we were to, okay, we have him where he's at 3,200. So 2 attacks right now are a game if it goes through, and like, what do we think, dude? I don't want him to get the Lone Fire next turn because that's what's about to happen, right?
Yeah. So I have Mirror Force for it, but he has Supervise, so I don't have a real way to do it. I'm just thinking if I want to upstart, because like I can upstart and then make the play.
Okay, that's fair. You get more information, and it's still game, I think.
Is it? This is 42. Yeah, it's still game, so I'm just gonna upstart first.
Yeah.
I am leaning into the heavy play, because like if he has TT or Mirror Force, it's good, and if he has Wing Blast, yeah, I'm just gonna be here. We'll see what happens.
Oh wait, he solemned it. Oh, he solemned
it.
Oh.
Yeah. Oops.
That's awkward. Okay, so.
Okay. I mean, this is not game, so I'm just playing into Mirror Force or TT for no reason.
Yeah, he's just gonna mirror force you. I feel like.
But surely has something, right?
Yeah.
Okay, he had Mirror Force. Yeah.
Okay.
What to say?
So now, yeah, you kind of have to set something just because of the awkwardness of him knowing that your back row is a bluff. But it's cool you drew Cyber Valley with the mind control. It's hard to get that off against this matchup because when they do
he's getting Lone Fire and he has Mark.
Yeah, you don't want to summon Cyber Valley, that's for damn sure, because you just steal it and draw 2, but
no, I think that's fine. Because then he's using all of his cards to do it, and he has to waste the monster too. And he only has the 1 monster from the Lone Fire. It's like if he has a Giga Plant in hand.
If he has Giga Plant in hand, he's fucking mad because that's both.
Then he can't Lone Fire it out. But yeah, I think I'm just fine to do this too because it has reasonable defense.
All right. Here we go. Moment of truth. He's at 2,100 to we're at 10,200, but life points do not matter in this matchup at all. This deck, when it does its combo, if he now he knows we don't have Gore, so he doesn't even have to like play around that. But when they do their combo, their only goal is to make it worse every turn, without playing into anything.
He had a fertilizer, so it didn't matter if he had the Giga in hand or not.
Yeah. Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
You gave him thumbs up, right? I don't know why is he...
yeah.
Oh, he's thinking.
I think he's just thinking. Yeah.
Between Copy Plant and Lone Fire. I mean, I feel like you always go Copy Plant here, but maybe he wants to just go Stardust immediately with Nettles. Okay, I think he might. They do play 2 Copy Plants now, so I don't know. Yeah, he's going Stardust. Okay.
I'm curious if he's gonna overthink the mind control and like want to play around it too well, so he just makes a random misplay.
Right. That's so funny. Yeah, so he might be popping because this.
He did drew the Giga Plant.
And he's gonna pop probably the Mirror Force, I guess, because the mind control. Or do you think he wants to get rid of the mind control? I'm so curious of where this is going.
Hey, I mean, the mind control is pretty good with the Valley in hand.
It is.
We'll see.
I wonder which one he's gonna pop. Because if he
another play, he's gonna pitch.
Oh, he's gonna pop the Mirror Force. Okay, because he's like, I know the other one's mind control, and I don't really give a fuck.
Not that I really would Mirror Force here, anyway.
Yeah, the black blue.
Maybe I would, but like it wouldn't be a very good play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take.
Yeah, I don't think you. Yeah. It's kind of. It's kind of annoying. He's just like, I'm just gonna blatantly play into your back. Okay, so multiple back row now.
He has Lone Fire in hand. He set Mark of the Rose, and he has 2 more face downs.
Correct. So he set a bluff as well, but Heavy Storm is gone, so he's like, it doesn't matter.
I have 1 dark engrave.
Is it time to try to...
Yeah, I'm gonna do the Valley thing. I'm just
thinking
which one I'm gonna remove. I think just let him have the Brute Drago.
Yeah, the Brute Drago doesn't do shit.
Anything.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything. We have a lot of life points to play around with too. I think that the Gigaplant has to go. That card is nonsense.
I don't have any of those. Alright, he used Solemn, so that doesn't matter. I'm just thinking which I should use first if it matters.
I think it's mine.
Might have TT, and then I want to summon this first.
Okay.
Is this opponent? And this card is destroyed. Okay. Yeah, so like if I used Mind Control on this and then summon Valley, he would TT 100%. So this sequence is better.
Okay.
Yeah, so we got it. We'll target this. That's okay. Got 2. I'm not gonna kill him, so I'll just activate this. Another Valley. This one sends from hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm free to set this and pass.
Alright, pray to not die. Foolish.
Dandy with the Lone Fire. Like, he doesn't have a tuner left unless he plays 2 copy.
Yeah, I don't really think he has anything left in deck that's threatening. They only play 1 Titanial, 2 Gigaplants, so like...
There's what, 1 Dandy left in deck?
He's just doing this just to like defend himself. He's scared of dying. Because we know the other back row is Mark of the Rose. He's just walling up.
Did he shuffle his hand at all? I gotta check that because end of draw phase drew a card. Yeah, he didn't shuffle his hand, so this card is a Lone Fire Blossom that he set.
Oh my god.
I always check for that. It's unfortunate that we only have Drago because we can't summon the MD.
I know, that's really unlucky. He still has Mark of the Rose, which he is... Okay, so now he is...
I can't summon Valley and pass because he's gonna mark it and draw 2.
Right. So Cyber Valley has another effect though, where you can banish a card in your hand to put a card on top of your deck. Take a card
from the graveyard on the top.
And then you have return set.
I do actually.
Does that do anything?
Yeah, I mean I can banish the Red MD and then Red MD bring back a guy. Yes, that's the best play.
Do we have to do it now is the other question, or will we die if we wait another turn by just like setting a guy? Trying to think of all the options here. We only have 1 dark. We don't have any more darks.
I mean, I think I want to go for the play. Like, you just put him on better have a back row because, like, one of them is Mark.
Yep.
The chance that the other one is a Wing Blast, like, based on how he's played, like, he would have Wing Blasted the Valley last turn.
Yeah, I think he would have Wing Blasted
when we tried to Valley the Gigaplant away. So, yeah.
He definitely doesn't have Wing
I'm
Blast.
just contemplating if I have any other... No, I think we just do it. So, normal summon Valley. There's Valley's effect. So we have Valleys in deck. I think I put this on the top of my deck. That's okay. So we banish the Red MD and the Valley. Put 1 for 1 on the top of my deck. Activate return. Is that 21? And this, and this.
So you have priority.
Exactly does this say. Destroyed and sent to the graveyard. He can summon back this, and then I can just run it over.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking if I just do the blue eyes, but I might just do Valley to draw first, because then I can 1 for 1.
And then bring it back.
And what?
Yeah, you can
bring what back? Bring the blue eyes back.
Yeah,
I could also pitch a dark if I draw it, but I would need 1 more dark to go for the dad. But I think I'm gonna do for this.
All right, let's just draw future fusion so we can be done with all of this.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been.
Okay, track is not bad.
OD if we just drew
I would have
feature
put me
feature.
up to this one because I know some of that. Yeah, I'm just gonna go this for this. Summon Valley. Declare this. There's a cool play. If we kept the blue eyes in hand, we could like crash to take damage, summon Trag, and then steal this, but I don't think that's worthwhile.
Oh, yeah. That is something that we could have done as well. Mirror Force is gone.
Yeah. But he's thinking, so maybe there's a Wing Blast that he just held for the entire game for no reason.
Oh.
Okay, I guess I did play a little bit fast there. But that's fine.
Okay. I mean, this is good, though. He has Market Rose and nothing else. Like, Market Rose... Oh, wait, this fucking thing. Never mind. We're in the best spot. I forgot about Black Rodrigo. So
Yeah,
goddamn
and I
broken.
only have 2 Arcs in Grave.
Yeah, you normal summon this turn, so you can't use Red Wyvern.
One discard is destroyed into the graveyard, yeah.
That thing can't miss timing either. Like, it always...
Yeah, it's mandatory.
Okay. Very good card.
And I normal
Black
summon the
Rodrigo.
Valley.
I think it's like $60
yeah.
now.
Double checking. Yeah, he's just gonna attack and we doubt.
Those
Okay,
are
so I'm going
some
first.
really unfortunate draws, honestly.
It's really funny. If I made the Catastrophe instead of our Android, we would have won. Because I would have had 3 Darks in Grave.
Really?
I guess that would have been the better play. Yeah, because I had 2 Darks in Grave with the Android as well.
Shit.
And this is Dark, so that happens. 'Cause I had enough life to live anyways.
Did we have Dark Arm the whole
not better.
game? Did we open Dark Arm?
No, I drew into it a little bit later. Otherwise, I probably would go for this because it would be a Dark.
Yeah,
But we
because
drew
I think if you had the
this
information,
after
it would be.
summoned this.
I mean, I just like Catasta only because it's annoying for his deck to deal with unless they can make the Stardust, and you had like Mirror Force and stuff or whatever. But
Yeah,
I
but he also
think-
had Mark.
yeah, he had Mark. It was complicated because he had Mark with a plant engraved since turn 1, so he could always just steal the Cataster and just use Nettles or copy plant. The fact that the Android honestly lived that long was already like I was surprised. I was surprised that the Android took him so low.
Yeah, he had TT set since like turn 1.
He had Mirror Force too.
Yeah. That's interesting. Oh, lagging. There we go. Okay, just gonna set this and pass.
Yeah. Oh god, I just realized Eradicator against this deck is like
Yeah, you just call spells and they lose everything.
yeah.
It's unfortunate we haven't had any cool games with Future Fusion as of yet. But the last game was really cool though. The lines where we had with Return and whatnot. So
I
at
like
least
the
that
Cyber Valley
showcased that.
stack of card stuff. That's always like
Yeah.
cute to see.
It was a neat thing you saw.
But yeah, we basically drew like a lot of monsters and not much of the
Last game, yeah. Looks like he's just passing here. Yep, this is in the background. There's nothing. I go to main phase. There we go.
DB.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really need to do anything here. I'm contemplating summoning the Valley, but that also plays into Mark if he has it. And I probably would not Valley away.
It doesn't play in the mark because he doesn't have a plant.
Oh, I mean, like, if he gets to one, like, he used like discard trap, pitch, plant, Mark, take.
That's a lot.
And summon a monster.
I don't think we have to worry about all that.
I like to think, like, okay, he used Goldstark turn 1 for Lone Fire. What else might be left in his hand? It's like these, like, either bricks or random combo pieces that might lead to something.
Yeah, just like Super
And
Dice.
summoning the
If he
Valley here
had a-
doesn't really do anything.
If he had a plant, I would be very afraid to summon it. But without him having even any setup, I don't think it's that bad.
Those are quite okay to hold here, because I don't have anything to pair with it, and if I draw a take card, then I can do it with that. He wouldn't attack into it here either way. Yeah, that's fine. I think we have Karma Cut, so if he goes for the combo next turn, it doesn't have a counterplay to my Karma Cut. I just Karma Cut away the Giga when he attempts to use Supervise on it, and then he just loses the entire turn.
That's a good draw.
Yeah. Contemplating just setting MST here for another back row as opposed to summoning a monster.
Yeah.
I think that's the better play. You just set this and pass.
It also plays around Wing Blast a little bit, so he has to choose. Like,
yeah, exactly. Because I also want to pitch the White Stone with Karma Cut.
I really want to see him get Eradicator. This is one of those matchups where if you were just playing Black Wings, he'd be fucking cooked.
What did he even do? How did this go to grave?
How did what go to grave?
The Giga Plants.
Wait.
Did he mill it? No.
Oh, hold on. I'm not seeing the duel anymore. Can you stop streaming and stream again? Like, stop sharing and share. Okay, so
we're good now?
Yeah, so he basically just ended his turn.
Pitching for hand size.
Yeah. Okay.
I realized that. Okay. He's waiting for something because he has all the pieces.
I think this guy is just extremely conservative. I don't think he likes to play into any back row. He seems to just want to wait until you have.
He also held like Mirror Force and TT way too long in game one.
He doesn't want to play any cards. Basically, is what I'm learning about this person. So
I think I'm gonna set this, and if he doesn't do anything again, then I'm gonna summon.
This doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's cool.
That doesn't matter.
That's perfect because I have a space.
Yeah.
Now he's gonna play fully. I said I was gonna set this, and if it doesn't do anything again, then I'm just going to.
Yeah, this is fine. Okay.
In here.
So he doesn't have anything in the graveyard, but he could summon from hand.
Negate all. Okay, yes, I can still activate it. So I'm gonna start by playing
Karma Cut MST.
Let's pitch Whitestone, target Giga. Is that okay? Let's see if he's gonna declare decree and see if I think that it's gonna be negated. Okay, he's just letting it go. Then I'm gonna chain space on the decree.
Then we
okay, it resolves. And this is banished. And everything goes to grave. We're gonna trigger Whitestone.
Fertilizer stays, I think.
1 second.
Yeah, he's moving too fast.
Didn't use it to summon back Giga?
Yeah, but I don't. If this card, if a
The
monster,
monster special summon, but this card leaves the field.
Okay, yeah. It does go. Okay.
And I have this face down. He passes turn. 4 cards in hand. Yep, draw for turn.
Oh, that was a good draw. Because I think he has Lone Fire in his hand.
Yeah, he has Lone Fire from the Gold Stark.
Okay, yeah. So he has Lone Fire, and he was going to summon it from hand and then like combo that way. So you have Dust Shoot now to stop that.
I might go for the Valley play here again though.
Oh, what the
Because
hell?
like, yeah, I can Dust Shoot away his hand, but then I'm not really doing anything. But if I go Valley, banish Red MD from my hand, top deck the Karma Cut to ensure I have a trap for next turn, then I can DDR back the Red MD, pitch Blue Eyes, attack, and then I can Dust Shoot and then Eradicator away his counterplay.
Yeah,
Valley, he might have Mark or something.
The same thing we did last
So
time.
I'm just gonna
Valley
do that
stack.
play. I'm gonna summon this. See if that's cool. Effect. Pretty sure I just take Karma here. Seems like the best one. See if that's okay. I'm gonna banish this and this. Put this on the top of my deck. Take use. Pitch. Do something about this. Let's use this to summon back this. Back here. Tap here. Would be a little bad if you had Mirror Force or TT, then I'm forced to use Eradicator and he might not have a hand for Dust Shoot.
Yeah.
But it ended up working out. So we'll just pass here.
Alright, we win this game. This
You should win, yeah.
This game,
I hope I win after I did it.
This game is over. Yeah, this game is fucking super over.
Nutrients, Titanial, and Giga Plants.
And his hand is
gonna put away
terrible.
There. And yeah, he has no place. This has to be a blank. There's no way it's Wing Blast, TT, or anything.
Book of Moon.
Yeah. I mean, I just killed through book anyway, so it doesn't matter. In DC right now.
I wonder if that's another decree. The middle card that's just been sitting there.
He would chain it to Dust Shoot, no?
I assume he would, but like I'm trying to think about what it could be. Maybe just a straight up bluff.
Yeah, I mean it can't be Decree unless he just didn't want to use it. Effect Random D. Doesn't matter. Summon this and attack. Go battle.
Oh, another Book of Moon.
Oh, he has 2 Book of Moons.
Sure.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
It doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I mean that's fine.
Yeah, this doesn't. It's just the same. The game's over.
Back with this. Oh. I guess I should have just summoned this in case it was 2 Book of Moon, so I could make sure to kill him. It's a
here's
slight
the thing.
misplay on my part.
So not really. Here's the thing. You can't lose the game now. Is the thing. I like getting duels to a point where you can't possibly lose, and I think we're there. I think we're in a position where there's no card he could draw right now that wins him the game. Not a single one.
No, there shouldn't be. But I also like to think like, okay, there was nothing it could be, so I might as well just go for the game push.
The correct play is to kill him, right? I agree, but I'm just saying that like it doesn't matter. Luckily, like he could choose his draw. He could pick up his deck and say, "I'm adding this card to my hand," and you would still win.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no single.
We got it. Once he used double Book of Moon just to survive, it's like, bro, at that point I would just scoop. I wouldn't even, if I were him, I would just scoop. Because I feel like,
yeah, he also knows about the Karma Cut face down.
Yeah,
like, he stacked it with Valley.
Like I think one of the things about being a good player in this format, and probably every format, is that knowing when you have no outs, and like the game is lost, even if you're not at 0 life points, like the game is lost at a certain point. And
particularly with time too.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, because like we're used to playing in tournaments that have 45-minute timers, and you shouldn't just do nothing.
1 second here. What does Super Nutrient say? It has to be used on a level 2 or lower, right?
It does, yeah. The tokens is what he's
so
trying
he
to
can't
get.
use it on Dandy, so he's just gonna go battle phase attack. Yeah, I'm just gonna banish that, and then he has nothing left.
Yep.
So pitch, banish.
I like how he also redrew the Lone Fire Blossom that got trapped dust shooted, by the way.
Yeah.
That's just the dust shoot glitch.
Shuffler glitch.
Yep.
That was actually a thing back in 2019, and they changed it on DB. It was with Sky Strikers. If you played Metal Fusion, you know what that card does, right?
Yeah, Metal Fusion, you shuffle it back into the deck and you draw a card.
Before they changed it on DB, you could pick to either put it on the bottom or the top of your deck. Now you have to put it on top when a card goes from like grave. And back then, what you should do, let me just side deck here real quick. I'm gonna take out.
She's playing Decree now.
Decree.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't have that many traps. I don't really want heavy for his Decree. I might take out like one bottomless or something if I'm going second. Maybe the Dust Shoot, but like, yeah, I'll take out this one. That's fine. Where on DB you wanted to put Metal Fusion on the bottom of your deck because there was a lower chance of you drawing it than if you put it on the top.
Really?
Yeah.
How did somebody find this out? They tested that?
Yeah, my friends did calculations on it. Like you run basically a simulator just doing the same thing a bunch of times, so you get a percentage out
like
of it.
10,000
It's
times.
not just variance. Yeah, and now they changed it. Like if you see here, I can only put this on the top of my deck. I can't put it on the bottom.
Interesting.
So I guess it's just like a thing with DB. The shuffler works in such a way where if you put a card to the top or the bottom of the deck, it just changes how the shuffling performs, I suppose. Now we get to show off the 2-card combo.
Yeah.
I'll start here.
Can we draw Future Fusion one of these games? That would be nice. Like I want to.
Hey, we can draw with Valley. Let's see here.
Yeah.
We're gonna Valley. Icon.
Let me get that.
Away those. Still nothing, huh? But as you could see in game 1 and game 2, this deck could still play without drawing Future Fusion.
Yeah, it can.
Because of the power of this card and just... I mean, the Valley stack effect, I've used it like once or twice in my life, and no one has as many games with Valley as I do. And it came up back-to-back now.
Yeah.
So it's pretty funny. And it was the correct play too.
Yep.
I think it just comes up more against these combo decks.
Ooh.
But in real games, usually you summon this and they attack into it.
Oh, you have some.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just go for the Wyvern play here and I Eradicator him for his entire life.
I'm with it.
I'm just wondering, like, if I shotgun it or not. I guess I just hold it because all of his spell searchers get to spells anyway.
Yeah, if he goes
Besides
Mark, if he goes Miracle Fertilizer, you could chain it to anything.
And I obviously don't want to like Eradicator my guy away unless I need to. So I'm just gonna do that play, I think. They have DDR. Should things go south?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna normal summon this.
Do you attack with this?
The question is, I think so because of Gores.
Yeah, you don't want to attack with the 28.
I don't want him to get the 28 Gores.
Yeah, token. This is a fine. Like if he Gores is here, you're like whatever.
Yeah, no Gores.
Oh,
okay, Gores. Just a little bit of lag. Yeah, it doesn't really change anything. Just gonna banish this for Red Eyes.
And then, yeah, you set that he can't.
Because both Lone Fires are engraved now, so the only way he really has a play from here is if he has a spell.
Yep.
And that can be shut down by Eradicator. And here I have another push, albeit very costly. I do have a Red Eyes push with...
and he's going to have no spells, so...
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
He's probably going to mark it.
So he has a take card. Maybe he has Book.
Right.
Because he's showed that before. Okay. Now what? It's just funny, like he put Gores to attack and then he thinks for 20 seconds. I'm just like not sure what he's thinking about. Okay.
He didn't see we never eradicated him last game, did we?
No.
So he doesn't know that that's on the table. Or maybe he does. Maybe he's playing around Eradicator right now.
By what? Not playing?
No, by setting 2 back row first.
What do you mean?
Like
this hits.
Oh, it's still
traps.
Oh,
I get to see these.
Right. So I don't know what he's doing then. I'm confused. Like, was he playing around?
Okay.
Standby.
Playing around Red Eyes effect, summon from hand, I suppose. I'm just gonna hit him with the here. I Eradicated this away.
I think, okay, here's what I mean with Eradicator. I think if he sets those traps and doesn't touch your red met with like a Market of Rose, because if he touches it, you're going to chain Eradicator, and then like he doesn't get to do his nonsense or whatever.
You mean he's playing around Eradicator?
Like, I don't know. I'm just wondering why he put the Gores in attack mode. Then I think he was going to Market of Rose you, and then he thought about it and was like, oh fuck, if I touch his thing, he's going to Eradicate me right now. I don't know. I really don't know what he's thinking.
I'm just thinking if I have another play here, if I do this. Yeah, I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
Spell.
Yeah, so you see everything, all 4 cards. Oh, what the fuck? Is that Decree?
Decree?
Titanial and Nettles. That's actually really good. And the other back row we need to see. I think...
Oh, it's a Mind Crush. Wow, that is
okay.
Interesting side card.
Oh, that's awkward.
Oh, is it?
Only because if you were to try to go for red med, he could just call it, right? Like if you, because he knows you have.
I suppose
he basically, if you put a dragon on the field, I would call red med if I were, like I would be like.
It depends how I put a dragon on the field. If I go DDR to summon this, yeah, he would do it. So maybe I just pass here and I have Trag.
So is there anything?
I was
about to say, is there anything wrong with summoning Valley?
No, I'm gonna summon Valley because he cannot make anything real with the Nettles.
Yeah.
Because I have a Trag. I'm just thinking if I take the Gores and then summon Trag, but it's not gonna be big enough. It's gonna be 24. So yeah, I'm just gonna summon this on past turn. Let's see if he remembers EV. Oh, he does not.
Now I'm shuffling his hand too. Okay, good.
Yep, he drew a spell too.
Right. We need him to draw. Yeah, I want him to draw more spells. Like this is turn 2. Draw more.
Yeah.
No, that was turn 1. He what did he do? We just EV'd on our turn, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So that was turn one.
Response to the wing blast.
Yeah, that was turn one. Wow. So he has 2 more draw phases we get to see.
Summon Titanial. Oh, he just sacked away the Gorse token. Did you see that?
I did.
Because this is a 0/0, right?
Yeah.
Has to be. Yep.
Oh, he even knows it's turn one. Crazy. That's good. Oh, what does that do?
It's a pretty good card. We'll see in a second. That is also a pretty good card. Wow, I think we might just be able to do a lot this turn.
I'm loving this. This is so funny.
Let's see here. I mean, he's not gonna blind crush anything but Red MD, so I'm just thinking if I maybe wanna get rid of that somehow before I do anything.
Because the other cards, it's not possible to call them.
No, he's not gonna call Phantom of Chaos with Mind Crush. There's no way.
If he does, I think that someone found a way to cheat on DV.
Then he gets the win. I'm okay with it. If he calls Phantom, I will. Okay. So there's so many lines. So there's certain ways we can do with Phantom of Chaos. Banish this, and if we get a white stone with 1/1, synchro it away with the 4-star here that we get from DDR. We can search Blue Eyes, and we can bring back the Blue Eyes as well. I'm just trying to think the line here.
Teach me how to cook.
Yep. Summon this, banish that. One for one, way that for that. DDR pitch that. Summon that. Make a Cataster. I also have to be wary to play around the Titanial, but I'm not going to do anything that targets on the field, so it should be fine.
Yeah.
Then I have Blue Eyes in my hand. I have Phantom that copied the Red MD. I might even be able to... Let's see here. Is there another way to do it? No, because then I get White Stone, and I have follow-up with White Stone and the Red MD that I pitched. So, in case he randomly calls Red MD first,
you just want to discard it.
Suppose I would just start with this.
Yep.
Bring back Wyvern. And then I go... Okay. Yep. Here he might actually call Red MD though.
He might still think that
like you said, like he would do it if I have this.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. He passed priority, so now you can do this.
I think this is safest. Summon Whitestone. Summon this.
All right.
Let's see here. Effects. Target this. Synchro these two away. For Cataster. Whitestone searches me Blue Eyes. So I should declare it so he knows. Yeah, I guess he's gonna Mind Crush the Blue Eyes. On. I mean, it's just a -1 for him because I
it doesn't do anything after you add them all.
After you add them all.
Okay.
Blue Eyes. Okay, yeah.
All right.
I mean, that's completely fine.
Yeah. Just.
Is there any reason not to summon Blue Eyes here? No, I don't think so. So we summon this back. We go battle. We can use this to attack this. This to attack
the Gores.
Misclick.
Because he put it in the graveyard.
Yeah, I already put it in the graveyard and I clicked attack.
Yeah.
And then this kills this because it's 28.
Yep, and then he's on the Eradicator for 2 more turns, game's over.
Exactly, and I also have this with this for next turn.
Yep.
As well as game on board. So I just pass here. Yeah.
Yeah! So We could.
Yeah, this was a good session. We got
This
3
was-
good games out of it.
That was
I wasn't
great.
sure if we were gonna have Future Fusion non-games or Brickfest non-games, but we got 3 actual real games. I'm
Yeah.
really pleased with that.
I'm very pleased with what just happened. I think
Yeah.
that patience is key. Cyber Valley's third effect. Don't forget about it, guys. Cyber Valley has
Yep,
3 effects.
insane.
They're all relevant. Every effect of Cyber Valley is relevant.
Yep.
And what's cool is Cyber Valley is like a card. In Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now, in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards have like 3 and 4 effects. Cyber Valley has 3 effects in Edison. So is Swap Frog. Swap Frog has like 4 effects. And I think cards that have multiple effects like that, like modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, are just broken. Like they're just so good. So many options.
Before we go, I also want to talk a little bit about Cyber Valley in Edison format. So I equate this card to Card D, which is a card that's commonly played in Hat and now Redo formats, and all formats in between there, besides Rulers, of course. It's basically a card that, if you look at this deck, when we saw the deck list before, there's not that many starter cards. You have Gold Shark for Future Fusion, you have Future Fusion, and you have certain ways to get into Red Eye's place. But the Cyber Valley just ties it all together. It buys you turns for Gold Shark. It allows you to do these insane plays with Return and DDR, which we just showcased. It allows you to use the take cards, which are good with various tuners in your deck, and Brain Control allows you to push for game, which this deck is trying to do. So, to put it into other words, I think Cyber Valley is just a card D with a higher ceiling and a lower floor. So when you summon Valley and do nothing else, it's worse than card because it's not
Right.
+1. But the insane things you can do with Valley are so crazy. Card D, you cannot use your battle phase because you have to tribute it in main phase 1. You cannot special summon the turn you use the effect. And it cannot be special summoned itself. Those are a lot of big restrictions.
Those are big
forces you to play the
restrictions.
card in control decks. But with Valley, you can summon it with 1/1, you can summon it with Return, you can summon it with DDR. In the Amaryllis deck, there's plenty of ways to draw 6 cards one turn with Cyber Valley, because you get tokens with Dandelion. And in this deck, you're using it basically as a pot of greed, or as a way to stall out the game. And you can loop it back with all these different ways that we talked about. So I think it's a very good card that is still underexplored. It does have 1 Ultimate Time Wizard win and multiple RBT tops. And I hope we'll see more in this coming year.
Very good. There you go, guys. Thank you, Loa, so much for stopping by the channel and teaching us how to cook some Chaos Dragons. We beat
thanks for having me.
We beat one of Edison's, new top decks. The
Scariest
deck.
decks.
It is scary. It was as soon as this matchup started, I was like, oh god, this can be really, really bad for us. But with a little bit of side deck cards, and honestly, we didn't even get lucky. I don't even think, because we didn't draw Future Fusion at any point, so we didn't just like blow up.
No, we just Red Eye started Metal Dragon comboed and eradicated him to death.
Yeah, it was very, very good. Very good. Yeah, guys, subscribe to Loa's YouTube channel. I'm gonna have, in
it's
the
Frozen
beginning,
Card Gaming on Card Market.
Frozen Card
And
Gaming.
I suppose you will have a link to it.
There will be a link.
below.
Yeah, there will be a link in the description,
Perfect.
but also in the beginning of this video, for the 30 minutes that we were talking, I will have put up a little thumbnail or something of your channel, so they can see visually what it looks like too. So for people who don't know,
That was great.
But yeah, man, this was great. Thank you again. Congrats on your
I had a
win.
blast.
Yeah, this was actually fun. And we'll catch you in the next one, guys. Peace.